I'd like you to imagine with me that we're doing a road trip and all of a sudden one of the tires blows out, so we pull over. And as it turns out, we discover that there was a weakness or a flaw on the sidewall that caused the tire to blow. Now, one question we could say to ourselves is, gee, I wish that we knew that, or I wish we were aware of that before it happened. That'd be awesome, because then we could do proactively some measurements to replace the tire or drive slower so we wouldn't have the outage. Well, in security, when we have a system that's attacked or compromised, it's very often the case where there's some kind of a vulnerability on that system. And wouldn't it be great if somehow by looking at all the traffic going through the network, we could identify, hey, this computer is running this operating system and has these potential vulnerabilities. And by having that information up front, we can then put additional countermeasures in front of that machine or identify those vulnerabilities and help correct them so it's more hardened and less vulnerable. Well, here's the great news. By training our Firepower appliance, the FTD appliance, to start discovering hosts and devices that are on the network, the more traffic it sees, it can build a profile called a host profile. And in that host profile, it can have additional details about what that system likely is and what potential vulnerabilities that system has. So that's what we're going to discuss in this nugget. And let's use this topology for our discussion about Firepower discovery. What we would do is we would create a discovery policy, and then we'd tell our Firepower appliances to go ahead and implement that policy. And with that policy in place, we can get granular. We can say we want to look at any traffic that's on the 10 network or the 172.16 through 31 network or anything on the 192.168 network address space. And then once that policy is enforced, when the firewall sees any traffic, it's going to spend a few extra milliseconds thinking and considering that traffic and what host is potentially behind that. And as the firewall sees traffic and starts building host profiles to identify the individual host that traffic is coming from, here are a few details that the Firepower Threat Defense Appliance could make educated guesses about. And realize as we take a look at this list, these are estimations or guesstimates based on what the appliance has seen from traffic from that address. Things like, okay, it's probably running one of these operating system versions. Maybe it's Windows or Linux or Mac. What services are running? What web-based applications are being launched from that computer? What protocols are in use? What are the users involved with the applications that are being used from that system? Are there IOC tags? That's indicators of compromise tags associated with that host. What VLAN tags, if any? What malware events? What vulnerabilities? Scan results. If we have a system that has been compromised or we want to look into it more, with a host profile, we can actually launch a set of scans right from Firepower to learn more about that system if we want to. And another benefit of using Discovery on the Firepower is that it can help us in making recommendations regarding securing our environment, and we can also use it as part of an auto-tuning feature regarding the signatures inside the Firepower appliance. In this nugget, we took a look at the overview of some of the benefits of using Firepower Discovery, and in the next nugget, we'll take a look at creating and implementing a Firepower Discovery policy so it can actually start discovering devices on our network. I'll see you in the next video. Meanwhile, I hope this has been informative for you, and I'd like to thank you for viewing.